I'm Dar from Dar's Divine Connection, and I'm here today to talk about balance. At first, that seems like a rather simple concept, doesn't it? The left and right, the negative and positive, the male, the female, black and white, or the symbol of yin and yang. But what I'm being called to talk about today is the balance wheel, the wheel of life and its four fractions. This can get a little complex, so we're going to talk about it in a way that we can all just digest, and we're going to pull from all the different cultures of the world and get ideas. I'd like for you to kind of follow along and see where you're at with achieving a nice balanced wheel, because that is our objective in life. So we need the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual balance. So in this video, we will just do a quick overview of each quadrant, and we'll look into the ancient shamanic traditions for a simple technique that we can use to strengthen that area. In my one-on-one coaching, we go into what's called a deep dive of each of the quadrants, and we assess where you're at with your balancing of your wheel. But let's just look at it together as a whole. So consider standing in the middle of the wheel of well-being. And consider what areas you might be strongest in. Whether it's the visionary spiritual wheel, whether it's the warrior in the physical, whether it's the healer in the emotional, or whether it's the teacher in the area of mental mental acuity. What area do you feel strongest in? Now let's look at them again. What area do you feel the weakest in? Consider the areas of your wheel that might need more air, so to speak. So let's consider standing in the middle of well-being and just for a minute picture what that might be like to be in the middle and to feel well-being. What might that be like? So let's start with some small steps. We'll look at the physical aspects of our life. So the physical is the warrior, and we start to look at, in the shamanic tradition, they start to look at the serpent. The serpent is the sign of the warrior. And of course, for physical strength, we know that we need food, we need exercise, we need rest, all of those things. Those are all things that we need in our life. The warrior has right use of power, is present in the now, has strong communication skills, and looks to a strong root chakra. Very heavy in survival techniques in the physical and in the warrior mode. So here's a technique that we can use. We can use the technique of the standing tree people. So we'll just take a couple nice deep breaths. Feel free to follow along with me. Bring your attention down to your feet. And imagine, you can do this standing, by the way. So the true warrior stance would be standing. Because the name was Standing Tree People, right? So stand and feel the roots forming at the bottom of your feet. And just envision those going through all layers of the earth. Sedimentary rock, you might see some red iron ore, you might see some crystals. Keep bringing it down, down, deep into the center of the earth where you have that churning volcanic activity. And then pull up that warmth of the earth, up through your roots, up in the bottom of your feet, to your ankles, to your knees, to your hips, all the way up to your chest and your shoulders, and then branch out with nice big strong branches, your arms, up into your head, and now feel that you have branches growing out of your roots of your hair, and you have multiple tiny little branches and roots going up to the sky. And that is the standing tree people technique for the warrior within us. Now let's go back in our imagination or in our mind's eye to the center of well-being. And let's look to the teacher. Let's look at the mental attributes. And with the mental attributes, we have the jaguar. And we take one step at a time. We try to have no distractions. We have clarity and we prioritize things that are most important. As the teacher, we model wisdom. We apply objectivity. We trust in the outcome. And the chakras are mainly the sacral and the solar plexus. So sacral, stomach area, and solar plexus where the ribs meet. There's an old Cuban proverb that says, every head is a world in itself. So this definitely goes with the teacher within us. So the technique recommended with the shamanistic teaching is seated. So the warrior was standing, the teacher is seated, and we're just going to envision that we're seated on the shore and we're hearing the waves come in. You can gently shut your eyes, roll your eyes back in their sockets till you see just kind of little fuzziness behind your eyelids. Let the ocean waves come in and go out and ask. We're asking for wisdom and any messages from our angel team or the universe. And this one you'll want to do for a short length of time so that you can listen to your breath in and out. Imagine the waves in and out and really get a feeling that you're open to receive messages. And quite often people take out a pen and pad after this one so that they can write down all those great messages that they get. So let's go back to the center. And let's look out at, from the center, let's look out at our emotional quadrant. Let's look out at our inner healer. The inner healer. And the animal totem for this one is the hummingbird. And some of you know that the hummingbird moves very, very fast. We cannot even see the wing movement with our eyes. They are moving so fast. So the hummingbird is how we feel. The emotional healer is the positive emotions. It's positive affirmations to strengthen it. It's engagement at all levels. Buy into the emotions. And then being valued and feeling that we are indeed good enough. We can extend love, we can receive love, we can extend gratitude, we can acknowledge our emotions, and we know that we are an emotional being. We can give virtual hugs out as we open up our hearts. So this is definitely the heart chakra. And the technique is, the shamanistic technique is laying. So we've done standing with the warrior, we've done seated with the teacher, and now we'll do laying with the healer. So you will lay down comfortably with your hands over your heart and envision that you are laying in a beautiful emerald green forest. It's just the right temperature. There are no distracting bugs or mosquitoes. It's just a beautiful, lush, green landscape with perfect temperature. And the green of your heart starts to flow out like a river, and the river of the forest flows in, and you're in peacefulness and calmness. And imagine the four-chambered heart being open and active and ready and full with emerald green. And just let that flow back and forth. And do these in the solitude of your own home. Returning back to the center, let's look at the final quadrant of the chart. And that one is your visionary and the spiritual quadrant. And in this quadrant, the animal totem is the ego. And we have a sense of purpose, deep values, need to matter and count for something. Very authentic, truth seeker and truth speaker, speaking your truth. Using inner vision, creativity, honoring dreams, all those upper chakras, all those blue of the throat, the deep midnight blue of the third eye, and the lavenders and the purples and the amethysts of the crown. So the technique for the visionary is walking in nature. And many of you have heard of the vision quest. And so different cultures will go on a journey or a vision quest to become an adult or to seek enlightenment. In our day and age, walking out in nature and listening to the sounds will help. If you have access to a labyrinth or if you want to make one, a great technique for making one is just to take blue cornmeal and just spread that out on the ground or on grass and make yourself a nice big spiral that you can walk to the center of and then walk back out. It's kind of nice to do that in a clockwise motion. So I hope you'll try some of these. The standing tree people of the warrior, the seated on the ocean shore with the teacher, the laying and being open to your heart and your emotions with the healer, and the walking technique, the visionary and spiritual technique. So in a quest to receive nice balance in all these quadrants is a pretty complex skill, you can tell. So we just got you started, and if you would like to learn more, contact me at Dara's Divine Connections, and we can do a deep dive into this together. Otherwise, I'll probably see you on Fridays for our free Friday card draws, which is always a joy. So until then, blessings your way.